I just wanted to say that America failed women tonight, primarily.
Mama, what's wrong with America?
How did we get here?
Something's going on in America.
What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
We used to be united in America.
All I can say is how f***ing dare you?
If you a woman, then vote for your rights.
Done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters. But y'all don't understand how scared of this man I am.
And don't let him take away your rights.
I'm not having a liberal meltdown. Yeah, I'm just disappointed Trump won, right? I'm sure I'll get over it.
I will not ask you to look for any silver linings.
Terrified! Listen to me, Republicans, listen! You are the people in history they warned us about! They warned us about people like you! Pay attention! We're losing our democracy! Wake up! Wake up!
Crikey. So, as Will I Am so eloquently put it there, more like Will I Am Shakespeare, eh? The bard, quite the wordsmith. As Will I Am put it there, something going on in America, right? And he's not half wrong. Something is going on in America. Now, a lot of other channels, are putting out some very low-hanging fruit, lowest common denominator, base, frankly, videos with compilations of liberal meltdowns. The left loses its mind in the thumbnails. But we're very much above that here on the Daniel Boland show. I think we should heed their warning. I don't believe, like some of these other channels do, that the left is some kind of apocalyptic death cult. Goes around preaching to everyone who doesn't adhere to each and every one of their doctrines that they are doomed for eternity. Heaven forbid. No, and speaking of death cults, just before we get into the video, the only death cult you should be joining today is the Daniel Boland Show. Okay? Subscribe to the channel. What's it going to cost you? Time? Money, if you want to join my Patreon? Anyway, let's get into the video.
Who's Daniel Boland? Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
I will not ask you to look for any silver linings. I will not ask you to feel anything but grief right now.
Oh, greetings, Osillo. If it isn't the principal chief of the Cherokee Nation herself, Elizabeth Shitting Bull Warren, great heroine of the Battle of Carpet Burned Knee.
Donald Trump won the election, and the consequences will be real and devastating.
Wise, if somewhat ominous words there from Chief Shitting Bull. But there is no doubt about it. This is a battle between good and evil. The good cicadas and the bad cicadas.
The good cicadas and the bad cicadas.
But what can we do now? The vote is over. The election's over. Trump won. Perhaps we could make some kind of offering to show our repentance. We build a great fire and make offerings of tobacco and cornmeal to the Federal Reserve. Should we kill a bison?
But I'm reminding myself and you that on the road ahead, there will still be opportunities to fight back. I can't tell you that we will win all of those fights. I can't tell you that we will win most or even any of them. But when we arrive at each of those moments, we will face a choice: to give up or to press forward. The far right wants us to feel powerless. Extremists are counting on apathy, cynicism, heartbreak, or all of the above as their rocket fuel. They are counting on us to point fingers at each other and to lose trust in our ability to ever make change.
Wow. wow. I don't know about you, but I already feel more at one with nature, more at peace with the rest of the world after that happy message from the chief of the Cherokee Nation, Elizabeth Shitting Bull Warren there. And, people say DEI is a bad thing, but imagine a world where the stars hadn't aligned for Elizabeth, a world in which she hadn't discovered that 6 to 10 generations ago there may have been a Native American in her ancestry. And that Harvard had never found out about that, and she wouldn't have even become a Harvard lecturer and burst onto the scene and into our lives the way she did so amazingly. What I'm trying to say is thank the happy hunting ground for diversity hires. Am I right?
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go.
Well, that's all very well and good, Jimmy, but what about regular guys like me?
They stole our jobs and they plundered our wealth.
For healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO.
Oh, shit, say it ain't so, Jimmy. Not NATO!
Why? Why, God? For the truth and democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
Really, was it, Jimmy? Was it a real bad night for everyone who voted for him? You just don't realize it yet? You sanctimonious sack of shit! You massive puss-puss. They just don't know it yet. How incredibly condescending is it to have a 56-year-old multi-millionaire crying like a little bitch on national television about the results of an election? He holds you in such disdain, all of you that disagree with his political views. He, and many like him, think you are mentally subnormal. And as though this guy hasn't been around worse people than Donald Trump. Pull the other one, Jimmy. Justin Bieber, you found God. For God's sake, just tell us what they did to you.
Please tell us, Justin.
We're ready to know. Okay, we want to send all these people to jail.
This message is for the 52+% of white women who voted for Donald Trump, and you guys alone.
Congratulations.
I hope your socks are always wet. I hope your check engine light is always on. I hope you hit nothing but red lights. I hope you stump your toe on every piece of furniture you encounter. I hope you walk into a room, every room, and forget why you walked in. I hope that when you take a shower, your towel is somehow magically moist. I hope that your fitted sheet never stays on your bed. I hope your pillow always rolls off your bed.
My goodness, where do these freaks get off? With the unoriginal, contrived rantings, okay? Where is the original of that thing you just saw, that way of speaking?
Hope that your sock rolls down your shoe and you can never quite get it out. I hope your tags are always itchy. I wish you nothing but a life of inconvenience.
It must be from some rom-com or something where a woman's like, I want every time you fold a towel to like, what did that come from? Somebody, I'm going mental trying to think about it, because obviously that girl didn't come up with it, and it's so fake. I hate all these nobodies on TikTok who sit there apostrophizing. They're not talking, they're not showing any raw emotion, they're planning what they're going to say meticulously, okay? She sat there, imagine how many times she's gone, oh shit, and had to stop and go again because, I forgot to say stub my toe. Damn, again, there's no real emotion there. There's no real feelings. It's just a complete persona, an exterior, right? A facade. Not like the Daniel Boland show. This is raw emotion, minimal editing. I just switch the camera and I say, "Go! What do you think about that, Danny? Go!" That's why I'm just so much better than all these other people.
So it looks like all the white women who voted for Trump are about to find out what Serena Joy went through when they cut off her little finger in The Handmaid's Tale.
Why? Are you going to cut their fingers off? And by the way, just while we're at it, what is this universal bunny boiler psycho face that everyone recognises? The mouth ajar, the eyes with the, you know, the what do you call it? The thousand cock stare.
Because Trump's buddies are all over social media saying, hey, guess what? We are going to enact Project 2025.
Are they? Like that as well. By the way, we are going to enact Project 2025. Who's announcing it? Tim Walz. Good political jibe there, Danny.
And Trump has just promised us all spots in his administration. Joke's on you. So have fun with that one, ladies, because we told you so. And when you are bleeding out in an emergency room...
Yes, that's right. That's what's going to happen to all you ladies, unfortunately. You're all going to be bleeding out in emergency rooms, and the last thing you hear as you slip into the other world will be your white male doctor leaning over you, looming, actually, as he whispers in your ear, "This is MAGA country. Bitch."
Ms. Hackler, just to clarify on this, are there any states where women face prosecution for having an abortion?
No.
Are there any states that criminalize miscarriage
No.
or that care for a miscarriage?
No.
Are there any states that criminalize removing an ectopic pregnancy?
No.
Are there any states that prohibit life-saving care for the mother?
No.
Are there any states where women have to be actively dying for a doctor to be able to act for her care?
No.
There's been a lot of rhetoric in this that I'm concerned pushes people away from getting access to health care. Vice President Harris, in a speech recently, said that women were being arrested and facing prosecution for experiencing miscarriages. Ms. Hackler, do you know of a single instance where a woman has been arrested for having a miscarriage or getting health care for that?
No, treatment for miscarriage is allowed under the law, and there have been instances where I think that one example of that that's been pointed to is misleading, because the woman, I think she was in Ohio, the charges against her were not abortion related, and so it's misleading to use that as an example.
It's not only misleading, but it scares women away from getting access to health care. And it leads women to not go get health care treatment when they desperately need it.
This is like the same crazy people. I don't. My mother believes, I live right here by the beach, and she fully believes that my neighborhood here is going to be underwater in about 10 years' time. And I say to her, you shut up. You'll be underground before the cock crows thrice if you keep that up. Motherkins.
When they take away your right to vote, all of these things that are about to happen to you, they're not going to ask you who you voted for.
They're not? Well, dang it. I assumed that when the Republican Party inevitably take the vote off women, because that's their dream, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to take the vote away from women. When they did that, I always thought they would, go around house by house, to all of the houses where the ladies live, and they'd knock on the door, and the women would be there doing their, baking or whatever, and they'd hear a knock at the door, and they'd go, "Just a second, coming." All right, and they'd open the door, completely innocently and gaily, like women do everything, and they'd find a tall, sinister-looking civil servant type in a grey suit with a little black notebook. "Would you mind telling me who you voted for, ma'am?" And again, you poor ladies in your naivete would say, "Oh, well, I don't know much about politics, but I voted for that Kamala woman. She seemed very nice." "Oh, really? Very, very interesting. Whatever is the matter?" "You just made a big mistake, lady. A big mistake."
They're not going to ask you what you thought about Project 2025 and you really thought it was Agenda 47, and that's not what Trump told you. They're not going to care one little bit, because we're all going down with the ship. Okay?
Okay, alright. Yeah, I guess so. Let's go down with this ship together. I've got to say, I think it's a much cooler ship to be going down on than imagine if this ship had won the race.
Okay, so we're closing in on almost 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and I've been tracking everything that's been going on across the country today. And my most important encounter was when I went out to get my champagne. I was talking to the guy in the store, of course, asking him, did he vote? And he said he did early voting, and he asked me if I early voted. And he asked me, you know, why I was getting the champagne. And I said, because I'm going to be toasting Madam President tonight. And he just looked at me with kind of like a smirk on his face. And I said, you know, she's going to win this, right? And he says, oh, well, it's very, very close. And I said, no, it's not. He says, well, what do you mean? I said, no, it's not. The women of America are making their voices heard. Reproductive rights is what it all comes down to. And the women are voting in numbers relative to men that are unbelievable. She's won this. And I said to him, she's going to take every one of the swing states plus Iowa. And he said, oh, but the numbers are so close. I said, I'm a political analyst. I'm telling you right now, the numbers are there. She's taking this election. And then I said to him, you realize, and he didn't tell me who he voted for, but of course I knew. And I said, you do realize you wasted your vote, right? And I didn't care. And I walked out with my bottle of champagne and happily walked home. Bye-bye.
What a shame. The unbridled joy. Funnily, only in the mouth, not so much in the eyes, as it so often is with these people. But thoughts and prayers for that political analyst there. Hopefully she makes a swift recovery. Anyway, this video is getting kind of long now, and there's plenty more to get through. Loads of other clips I've been looking at, you know, all the ladies of The View, Whoopi Goldberg and the Joy Behars of this world, Joy Behar, and there's a load of non-entities like the people we saw in today's video, but I think it's time to be wrapping up. And if you've enjoyed today's video, remember to give it a like. You know, let the universe, let the algorithm know that you've had a great time. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And if you want to help out even further with the channel, then check out the link to my Patreon, and it's under this video in the description. God bless you. And I think for the rest of us now, it's time to call it a day. Hang on, there we go. You can sing along if you want to come down on this ship with me. We're all going down together, people. Do you know the words? Who remembers this? It's 2005 again. Let's see if I can see it there. No, I'm not going to make you cringe that much. We've had enough of that in today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.